Money is never really about money. It is about the invisible patterns that guide how we live, how we hope, how we fear losing what we think we need. Most people believe they chase wealth for freedom, but freedom is not found in accumulation. It is found in understanding what truly matters. The mind that seeks endlessly never rests, even when surrounded by abundance. To understand money is to study ourselves, for it mirrors our desires and exposes our illusions. Wealth begins as a feeling before it becomes a number. The anxious mind cannot feel rich, even when surrounded by gold. The calm mind can feel complete with little. True prosperity is the quiet confidence that your future is safe because your character is steady. You cannot own security, you can only embody it. When you become the kind of person who handles both gain and loss with grace, you already possess the essence of wealth. People often confuse knowledge with wisdom. Knowledge teaches you how to make money. Wisdom teaches you how to keep peace while you make it. Without wisdom, knowledge becomes a tool of restlessness. You can learn every technique of investing, saving, and earning, yet still act out of fear or comparison. Behavior outweighs theory. The richest minds are not the smartest. They are the most emotionally balanced. Every decision with money carries a shadow of emotion. We tell ourselves we are rational, but beneath the logic are stories from childhood, memories of scarcity, and the echo of those who told us what success should look like. The numbers on a screen are not just figures. They are reflections of our self-worth, our fears of inadequacy, our hunger to prove something. Until you see this, you are not managing money. You are managing emotion disguised as strategy. It is strange how deeply luck and timing weave through success. Many cannot admit this because it shakes the illusion of control. Yet humility before luck is freedom. It allows you to stop comparing your path to others. You realize that wealth is not a contest but a collaboration with circumstance. Risk and reward are twins. They cannot be separated. You embrace one, you inherit the other. To understand this is to find calm in uncertainty. The pursuit of more is a whisper that never ends. More money, more status, more certainty. But every more eventually dissolves into the same question. When will enough be enough? Enough is not a measure, it is a decision. The moment you define enough, you reclaim control from the endless appetite of the mind. Greed is not wanting too much. It is forgetting what you already have. Contentment is not complacency. It is mastery of perspective. Time is the true currency, and compounding is its magic. Every small act of discipline multiplies quietly while no one watches. Every decision to save, to learn, to wait grows roots that one day bloom into freedom. But most cannot wait. They trade the invisible harvest of patience for the visible thrill of immediacy. The wise understand that slow growth is not weakness. It is endurance disguised as stillness. Wealth that lasts is wealth that breathes with time. You do not control outcomes, but you control survival. Staying in the game is victory. Most fortunes disappear not through lack of intelligence, but through lack of restraint. The market, the world, even life itself rewards those who can stay calm longer than others can stay fearful. Endurance outperforms brilliance. What matters most is not the biggest win, but the ability to avoid the irreversible loss. Preservation precedes expansion. The illusion of wealth is visibility. Real wealth is often invisible. It hides in modest homes, in quiet routines, in the power to say no. The richest people are rarely the loudest because true wealth is privacy, not display. Every purchase asks, is this improving my peace or buying someone else's approval? The answer determines whether you are growing richer or poorer, regardless of balance sheets. Luxury can be beautiful, but peace is priceless. Rationality is overrated. Reasonableness endures. Rationality demands perfection, but life is not an equation. It is a storm of feelings, habits, and half-seen choices. Reasonableness means understanding your own psychology and designing a system that forgives your imperfections. You will make mistakes. Plan for them. You will panic. Expect it. The wise do not eliminate emotion. They build around it. Good strategy fits your nature, not your fantasy. The measure of success is not wealth gained, but anxiety reduced. Many build fortunes only to live in fear of losing them. Others keep little but walk unburdened. When you learn that security comes from adaptability, not accumulation, you begin to rest. The future will always be uncertain. That is its nature. Peace is not the removal of uncertainty. It is the mastery of response. Money cannot buy happiness, but it can buy the conditions for it: time, health, and freedom. Yet even those conditions mean nothing without awareness. If you cannot enjoy what you have now, more will not help. Happiness grows from sufficiency, from gratitude, from the recognition that you already have what once you prayed for. The problem is not scarcity, but forgetting. People misread others' success because they see outcomes, not context. You see a snapshot and think it tells the story, but the unseen chapters, fear, mistakes, luck, are what shaped it. Never envy what you do not understand. Everyone trades something: time for money, peace for ambition, self for image. The goal is not to win a race you do not believe in, but to define a finish line that feels true. The calm mind invests in simplicity. Complexity flatters the ego, but drains clarity. Most wealth-building truths are boring. Spend less than you earn, wait longer than is comfortable. Avoid what you do not understand. The ego hates simplicity because it cannot show off with it. Yet simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. It allows growth without chaos. The fewer moving parts your plan has, the harder it is to break. Gratitude is the quiet multiplier. It expands whatever it touches. To be grateful for your progress is to reinforce it. To be grateful for challenges is to learn from them. Gratitude reframes struggle into strength. It turns what you have into enough and enough into peace. You can own the world and still feel empty, or own yourself and feel infinite. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is an operating system for abundance. Fear disguises itself as logic. It whispers reasons why you cannot wait, why you must act now, why others are getting ahead. The antidote is perspective. Remember that every decision made from fear compounds regret, while every decision made from calm compounds freedom. The world rewards courage dressed in patience. Money amplifies personality. It does not change you, it reveals you. If you are generous, more makes you expansive. If you are insecure, more makes you restless. Wealth magnifies what already exists in the heart. This is why self-awareness is the first investment. Know your motives, your triggers, your definition of enough. Otherwise, you will chase symbols of success that cannot fill your silence. Freedom is the true dividend of wealth, the power to wake up and decide what to do with your day. But freedom requires discipline. Without boundaries, freedom decays into distraction. The purpose of wealth is not escape, but expression. The ability to live according to your values without fear. If you earn freedom and waste it, you are poorer than before. Use it to build something that outlasts convenience. The mind that understands money begins to see patterns where others see chaos. Prices rise, markets fall, trends shift, but human nature stays the same. Greed and fear repeat in cycles as old as trade itself. Those who observe without judgment learn that every boom is born from hope and every crash from panic. Neither is moral, both are mechanical. The wise are not those who predict the storm, but those who build vessels that can sail through any weather. Stability is not the absence of movement, It is flexibility within motion. Life is unpredictable, and yet you can design yourself to survive it. Diversify your focus, your skills, your identity. When one world shakes, another can hold you steady. Dependence on one source of income, one plan, or one belief is a fragile comfort. Resilience grows not from certainty, but from adaptability. The strongest trees bend, the brittle ones break. Risk is the price of participation in life. You cannot separate progress from exposure. Every choice carries uncertainty, but refusing risk is its own form of loss. The only question is whether the reward justifies the vulnerability. Wisdom lies in risking thoughtfully, never out of desperation, always from alignment. You prepare, you assess, you act, and then you let go. Control ends where outcome begins. Patience remains the rarest form of courage. It is the ability to watch the slow unfolding of what you planted, to resist the temptation to dig up the seed just to check if it grows. People overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Compounding rewards not only money but character. Every moment you choose steadiness over impulse, you teach your future to trust you. Comparison is the thief of contentment. The moment you measure your progress by another's path, you lose sight of your own. No one plays the same game. What looks like success may be survival. What looks like failure may be preparation. Each person's definition of enough is shaped by their story. You must find yours or spend your life chasing someone else's. Wealth does not belong to those who own the most, but to those who need the least. Each reduction of unnecessary desire multiplies peace. You begin to understand that abundance is not the overflow of possessions, but the absence of craving. There is no amount that can fill a hungry spirit. There is no poverty that can touch a satisfied one. Simplicity is not sacrifice. It is liberation from false appetites. Greed is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers softly through reasonable excuses. Just a little more. Just until I'm secure. Just one last goal. But the line always moves. Enough is never a number. It is a practice. It is choosing to stop not because you must, but because you can. It is the freedom to rest in sufficiency. The richest heart is the one that can stay still without emptiness. The paradox of money is that the more it matters, the less you see it clearly. It becomes entangled with identity, self-worth, and fear of judgment. To see money rightly, you must separate it from ego. It is a tool, not a mirror. A servant, not a master. The more you attach it to your sense of self, the more you serve it instead of it serving you. Discipline is the invisible bridge between desire and realization. Most people never cross because the first step feels ordinary. There is no glamour in consistency, yet it is the foundation of every miracle. Show up daily, save when no one notices, learn when no one praises, improve when no one watches. These small acts become the architecture of freedom. Haste is the enemy of wisdom. Every rushed decision carries the imprint of fear. The market rewards patience because few can hold it. The longer you can think in decades instead of days, the more power you gain over emotion. Wealth flows to those who can delay gratification without losing enthusiasm. You cannot speed compounding any more than you can rush sunrise. Luck humbles the wise. You begin to see that control is partial, outcomes uncertain, and gratitude is safer than arrogance. Some of your wins will not be fully earned, and some of your losses not deserved. Accept both. The mind at peace does not need the world to be fair. It needs only to be faithful to its effort. Humility keeps fortune from turning into pride, and pride into downfall. To save is to declare independence. Every dollar kept is a quiet rebellion against insecurity. You are buying time, options, and freedom from desperation. You are building the ability to choose your response instead of being forced by necessity. Saving is not a punishment. It is empowerment in disguise. It is the art of saying, I can wait. There will always be noise, predictions, opinions, excitement, fear. The world will try to sell you urgency as wisdom. Silence is your advantage. The less you react, the more you perceive. The calmer you stay, the clearer you see the underlying rhythm beneath chaos. Money flows to focus. Attention is capital. Protect it more fiercely than your account balance. True intelligence with money is emotional stability. It is not reacting to fluctuation, not panicking at loss, not exulting in gain. It is knowing that nothing is permanent, yet everything is instructive. The market, like life, teaches through rhythm, up and down, in and out. Learn to move with it, not against it. Learn to breathe while others hold theirs. The goal is not to escape work, but to find work that feels aligned. Money earned with joy multiplies energy. Money earned through dread multiplies fatigue. Freedom is not idleness, but autonomy. The ability to choose where your effort goes. You want your labor to express who you are, not compensate for what you lack. Purpose makes earning sacred. In time, you realize happiness cannot be postponed until a financial milestone. There is no number that suddenly erases anxiety, because anxiety does not live in the bank. It lives in thought. Every level of wealth brings its own tests, new comparisons, new worries, new illusions. Peace is not in the digits. It is in detachment from them. You do not need to own the world to feel safe within it. Generosity is the highest proof of wealth. When you give freely, you announce to life that you have enough. You affirm abundance, and the world affirms it back. But generosity begins not with charity, but with attitude. The willingness to see beyond yourself. To help, to teach, to uplift is to participate in the circulation of prosperity. Energy hoarded stagnates. Energy shared flows. Contentment is the ultimate strategy. It requires no market, no permission, no circumstance. It is a skill, the ability to return to gratitude even when desires whisper otherwise. You can train it as you would any other discipline. Each time you pause to recognize sufficiency, you weaken greed's grip. And slowly you learn that enough is not small, it is spacious. The most valuable asset is peace of mind. It compounds faster than interest, yields more than any portfolio, and once lost, costs everything to regain. Guard it above all. Invest in habits that preserve it. Honesty, moderation, reflection, rest. Wealth grows quietly under such light. The more you learn about money, the less it surprises you. The charts, the cycles, the systems, they all repeat in different clothes. What truly changes is how you relate to them. When you stop expecting perfection from life, you begin to see beauty in imperfection. The goal is not to escape uncertainty, but to dance within it. You learn to breathe through fluctuation and stay still while others hurry. Peace in movement becomes your edge. Financial wisdom is emotional equilibrium. It is the ability to hold two truths, that wealth can make life easier, and that it can also complicate it, that money can serve you or own you, that security is a mindset before it is a metric. Maturity is realizing that both sides exist and learning to navigate between them without attachment. It is to live in balance between ambition and gratitude, growth and contentment, effort and surrender. Happiness has less to do with possessions than with proportion. The imbalance between expectation and reality is the source of most suffering. Lowering expectation is not defeat, it is recalibration. You still strive, but you no longer measure yourself by an impossible horizon. The happiest people are not those who abandon ambition, but those who make peace with the gap between progress and perfection. That peace is the art of enough. Money often promises what the spirit must provide. People chase wealth to feel respected, loved, or safe, But those emotions do not live in numbers. They live in self-respect, connection, and calm. To seek emotional solutions through material accumulation is to confuse the mirror for the face. When you stop asking money to fix what is emotional, you begin to use it wisely. You no longer need it to validate you. You allow it to support you. Freedom is measured not by possessions, but by choice. Every time you trade short-term pleasure for long-term clarity, you reclaim a piece of that freedom. Every unnecessary expense resisted, every boundary held, every plan followed. It all compounds into independence. Freedom is not the absence of limits. It is the ability to choose them yourself. When your actions reflect your values, you are already rich. Humility is a hidden form of intelligence. It accepts that no one controls the full equation of success. The humble investor, the humble earner, the humble thinker, each survives longer because they do not need to be right, only to endure. Pride bets on prediction. Humility bets on resilience. The first seeks to impress. The second seeks to last. The market of life always rewards the latter. You begin to see that wealth is not only built, it is protected. Protection comes from moderation, from restraint, from saying no when others say yes too quickly. The true genius of money is not multiplication, but preservation. Protect your time, your peace, your integrity. Every compromise for short-term advantage costs long-term stability. The wealth that endures grows in quiet rooms, away from noise and rush. Time changes the meaning of money. In youth, it is a symbol of potential. In maturity, it becomes a tool for peace. As you age, you stop asking, "How much can I make?" and begin asking, "How much can I keep sacred?" The goal shifts from accumulation to alignment, from proving to living. Eventually, you learn that the highest dividend is the calm you feel when you no longer need to chase. Satisfaction is not static, it is practiced. Gratitude keeps the heart full, even when the world is uncertain. Every evening, you can choose to count what remains instead of what is missing. The mind grows what it measures. If you measure lack, lack expands. If you measure grace, grace multiplies. Gratitude is not denial of pain. It is remembrance of balance. It trains you to see wealth where it always was, in awareness. The more content you become, the more power you gain. Contentment is not the end of ambition. It is its foundation. From peace, you can build more effectively because your motives are clean. You are not rushing to fill an inner hole. You are creating for expression, not escape. That shift transforms labor into joy and achievement into contribution. When you work from fullness, you cannot burn out. You expand. At last, you understand that money is a reflection of character. Every transaction reveals values. Every decision whispers priorities. You begin to treat money not as a trophy, but as a teacher. It shows you your habits, your impulses, your fears. You realize that wealth is not about conquering scarcity. It is about mastering self. Once mastered, the numbers follow naturally because they now serve order, not chaos. You stop measuring progress by milestones and start measuring by alignment. Are you living in harmony with your values? Are your goals still your own? Do your days feel like your life or a rehearsal for it? These questions matter more than any figure. Riches without relevance are poverty of purpose. But even modest means, when aligned with meaning, feel abundant. The richest life is the one lived deliberately. In the end, every lesson about money is a lesson about emotion. Fear and greed, patience and trust, gratitude and humility. These are the currencies of the inner world. Master them, and external wealth becomes simple arithmetic. Neglect them, and even fortune feels fragile. The psychology of money is the psychology of being human, imperfect, hopeful, searching for balance. True wealth is tranquility. It is the quiet evening when you feel no urgency to prove or chase. It is the unhurried morning when you wake with purpose, not panic. It is knowing that you can lose possessions, but not peace. It is the ability to look at your life and feel, this is enough. It is gratitude without condition, joy without permission, faith without guarantee. It is the calm awareness that everything temporary serves something eternal. To think clearly about money is to think clearly about life. Both obey the same laws. Energy flows where attention goes. What you nurture grows. What you fear controls you, and what you release returns transformed. When you treat money as a mirror, it teaches you how to think, how to feel, how to let go. In mastering your relationship with it, you master yourself. And so the circle closes. Wealth was never the destination. It was the lesson. You sought freedom and found discipline. You chased success and found perspective. You wanted abundance and discovered simplicity. In learning how to manage money, you learned how to live. When all is said and done, the wisest mind rests where it began, grateful, calm, aware that enough was always here, waiting to be noticed. And in that stillness, the true psychology of money reveals itself. Not about greed or gain or fear, but about peace, choice, and the gentle art of being satisfied with life. If you want to keep growing and mastering yourself, follow the Clearance channel.